Coach, just your overall thoughts on the meet today.
It was a good meet today. It was competitive, which was fun. I think both teams were great. Every point was highly contested, which is always nice when that happens. It means a little bit more when it goes like that. Proud of our whole group for all the hard work, the riding, kind of pushing through even when we weren't sure if we were going to be able to do enough or not. But it was a really good end to the first day, and glad we get to ride again tomorrow.
Tell me a little bit about your riders next to you and their rides today.
I've got my two seniors. So we've got Abby Zemp, a senior on our flat squad, and Abby Devlin, the same. And they both had great flat rides. Both of their points, especially towards the end of the meet, second half in the second event, super important for us to have gotten those points and to feel like that kind of kept us into that tie break. And just super proud of both of them. Glad that they get to finish their senior year riding in the championship rounds tomorrow.
Yes, I definitely felt the pressure going into my pattern and had some nerves, but I was really proud of myself to ride through them, and I'm really looking forward to putting down the best pattern I can tomorrow.
I was also nervous today going into championships as well. It's my first year starting, so my first championship season. I'm just so grateful to be here and have the best girls, but both beside me and behind the scenes. I think that's such a huge part of what goes into us in the ring and makes us able to get those points and do what we need to do. I just can't thank all of those girls enough, and everyone also starting. Every single point counted today, so we really couldn't have done it without everybody else. So grateful and excited for tomorrow.
Something to highlight is that we had a really new starting team for this year and a really young team.
Absolutely.
That is really exciting, but
Yeah.
it's also really nerve-wracking for a lot of the girls.
Yeah.
And it felt like we were very ready to go and very locked in today, so it was really exciting to see everyone perform some of their best rides.
If the three of you will kind of describe what it felt like to come down to a tiebreaker for this meet.
It's always stressful. It's not the first time we have had a tie break between Sweet Briar in this venue. It probably won't be the last. I'd love it if it was, but it probably won't be. I think there's a lot of stress that goes into that. We try to be really smart and keep track of scores in a good way so we feel like we know how that'll go if we get to that point. And I think we just have to kind of trust our kids and knowing how the fences ended up and knowing where we were on the flat and what we needed to do. I think there were some points that came really, really close. And the thing that was nice about today is generally when we lost by a little. When we won by a lot. And so that's kind of the best case scenario when you have the tie break. But again, I think it's a fun way to end. It shows how strong the competition is. It shows that nobody's just getting handed something here. So I appreciate that about it. And Sweet Briar's kids were great. They fought hard just like ours did. And obviously we're grateful to come out on top. But it's stressful, but I think it's a fun way to end.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. I think I want to emphasize what Phillip said about trust. I think it's a lot of trust within ourselves and our abilities, both in the ring and in our teammates. I think that's a huge portion going into it. And we've had times before when I feel like the trust wasn't as high and the confidence in each other and both ourselves wasn't the best it could have been. And I think that was really honestly what pulled us through to the end today, was our belief in our strength as a team and as a unit, we've been saying this week. So I think that was huge, and I think the win, it would have been great at the end of the day anyway, but it feels even more thrilling to have it be so close, and we really fought for it, and I think you can see that in the results.
We actually tied in our meet against Sweet Briar at Sweet Briar, and we did lose that meet, so it was definitely coming into today, we were like, oh my god, we have to do it today, and we did end up pulling it out, but it's always so close with Sweet Briar, and it's always so much fun.
Yes.
To bite our nails to the very end.
Phillip, what was your message going into flat today?
We have a saying on our team. I won't say the whole thing, but we have a saying, LFG, which is something that we talk about and we use, especially when we need a little extra momentum and a little extra dig in. And we were down 2 to 3 in the fences. Flat is always a place where we usually feel strong on our team. I think we've historically been strong on the flat, and I think that was good, but kind of Zemp said earlier, we've got a newer group. We've got some kids that are here for the very first time, some freshmen that are in some of those starting roles, and so I think there's a lot of unknowns in that, and there's pressure and there's atmosphere and all those things. So I felt like we could do it, and I knew we could, but I also knew we were going to have to work pretty hard to make it happen. So that was, LFG was the message.
It was the message. Pulled us through.
It really did.
What's the main message going into tomorrow?
Biggest thing for tomorrow, I think, is just build off of how good this feels and how confident this feels, and make sure that we get to enjoy getting to be there. So everybody was great today. We have some things we need to work on and to make sure we do a little bit better, but I think most of our group ended confident and feels good with where they are, and so we want to just kind of keep building on that and make sure that's how we walk into tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.